Okay, 100 limits. Scrolling through it, I just want to go point some things out. Contact information, introduction, standards, introductory limits. Let's see what else we got over here. Wow, a lot of limit things. Okay, so one thing I want to point out here is it says something about the indispensability of Sage Math for math majors. And although this is optional, I would definitely recommend you think about investigating this, all right? So what I want to do is scroll through the notes now, and I want to see, do they say something about it in the notes? Well, the first question, I noticed there's really nothing about Sage. The second question, really nothing about Sage. Third question, nothing about Sage. Fourth question, nothing about Sage. Fifth question, nothing about Sage. Sixth question, what am I noticing over here? I'm noticing code. What code am I noticing? I'm noticing Sage Math code. And I just want to briefly go through it. And what is it basically doing? Reset. That gives me a clean sheet of paper. I'm defining a variable. Variable's x in this case over here. I'm defining a function f of x. You notice that the same thing function over here. That's f of x. All right? Then I do the limit as x approaches 2. I hope you remember that we did this before by handwork. We'll do that as well. Limit the direction from the left and the direction from the right. If you remember me doing this problem, like you watched the video, when I did this problem, I did both the left and the right. Right? What I do, I did the limit as x approaches 2 of f of x, and then I did the limit x approaches 2 from the left, the limit x approaches 2 from the right of f of x. And we went through that. Hopefully we've gone through the whole sheet already doing that. And from the left, numbers slightly smaller than 2, this goes off to minus infinity, and from the right, it goes off to plus infinity. And then I said that this does not exist. All right. Then I asked Sage to do this, and the hope is Sage can answer that one, and that one. All right. I also did limits at infinity. Hope you can recall that. The limit as x goes to infinity of f of x, and that was equal to 0. I said from the top of it, and limit x goes to minus infinity f of x, and I said it was from the bottom of the 0. Again, most teachers would simply write 0 down here and 0 over here, and that's fine. All right? So these are the answers that we've derived. So what I want to do is talk about the output from Sage, what it looks like. Now, if you type this into the Sage program, it's going to give you output, but I'm actually typesetting it for you. Now, one thing I noticed, which is kind of unusual, Sage got this one wrong. It says it's infinite. It's not infinite. That is not correct, all right? From the left, minus infinity. What did we say? From the left, minus infinity. We're pretty good with that. From the right, what do we get? We get plus infinity, all right? The limit as we go towards infinity, which should be 0. So I'm not giving a direction to that in the Sage thing, and that's fine. And this is also 0. All right, we got this over here. Now, I like Sage. I think Sage is a good product. I do use other products, and I recommend you use other products as well. So, for example, I also graphed the thing out. All right, so what'd you graph out? I graphed out f of x. And how did I do that? I use a tool for that. What tool am I using? I'm using a program on a computer called Mac OS 10, and I'm using a program called Grapher. If you have Mac OS 10, Grapher is a default application, and it's in your utilities folder. I would definitely recommend looking at it, all right? Now, someone says, is it really just Sage Math and Grapher you're using? Well, for this, that's what I'm using, all right? And I would recommend, at least if you're moving forward into a STEM-related career, to learn software. And I'm going to say Sage Math is an important application to be learning. Now, I realize what somebody could say, they can use Wolfram Alpha or whatever. You're free to use what you want to use, right? Professionally, I would be going towards open source software, so I would definitely be going towards Sage Math and Sage Tech, all right? Open source stuff. They're really good products, by the way, all right? So do that. But if you get the picture's pretty nice, by the way. Certainly got that picture on my mind. And as I'm doing problems, I do see pictures, but sometimes I want to just emphasize that pictures can be generated by computers as well. Thank you.